All right. Sid Riggs loved parades. She would go to the parades and she would compare the different entries and kind of rank them like she would the Olympics. Now, one particular 4th of July, she had been very impressed with the bands. They all had been really classy and well rehearsed. At one point, she looked down the way to see what else was coming. And what she saw was this pathetic little band. They had on tacky Hawaiian shirts, these ugly jean shorts. Their lines were crooked and their notes were sour. She was like, who let them in the parade? She took a closer look and she saw the bass drummer. Now this kid was a plump kid. He was red in the face, he was really sweaty, huffing and puffing as he's coming down the route, and his drum was filthy. Sid looked at him and went, ugh! The audacity of this boy to enter into this parade and not even clean his drum. But as that boy got closer, she noticed that the stains on his drum, they weren't dirt. It was blood. There was a nick in the side of his drum, and every time he'd beat that thing, it would catch his hand and spatter just a little bit more blood onto it. But he did not stop, because he knew that no matter how little or insignificant everyone else thought he was, he kept all the other members of that band in step. Sid used this story to tell us as cast members before a show that no matter how little we thought the roles we played were, that our characters had a story to tell and that it was important. Because of her genuine interest in my own life, and her remarkable capability to be just as interested in the lives of everyone she knew, Sid taught me to value the details of individual life stories. Sid passed away in the summer of 2004, but she has left us a legacy that continues to inspire others to do the same. Because of the service she gave, she was able to truly live a vivacious and passionate life that was esteemed by others. Sid Riggs had an innate ability to care for everyone. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. She would get phone calls from actors on Broadway who wanted to tell her they finally made that dream role. And yet, she was just as excited when I would tell her about my latest love interest, me, as a high school teenager. She understood that. She understood how much people need other people. Sid also had this, I remember when I first got my cell phone, she came to me and said, Erika, who's your cell phone service provider? And I said, T-Mobile. She goes, oh, I have T-Mobile too. That means we could talk to each other for free. Sadly, the number 427-2993 will not ring on my phone anymore. Sid had a remarkable ability to know exactly what activities were perfect for each moment. And she lived life to the fullest. I cannot tell you how many times we were in mid-rehearsal. I mean, we were mid-dance like this. And she would get a phone call and she'd go, stop! Sunset break. And we'd run outside and watch the sunset for 5 minutes. She made sure that we knew that God gives us blessings all around us and that we should not overlook those blessings. She understood beauty. And this passion for life and beauty that she had drew others toward her. I wish that I could portray the number and wonderful diversity of people that attended her funeral. These were people who came from all walks of life, and she knew their individual life stories and cared about every one of them. What more can you ask? Because she cared so much for us, we cared just as much for her. People from all of these walks of life, aging in range 5 to at least 80, if not more, adopted the phrase, "Hail, Queen Sid." She was the epitome of leadership in our eyes. Because of her example, and I'd like to refer back to the little drummer boy and remind you that her first impression was of disgust. But as she learned that boy's story, her feelings turned to admiration. I firmly believe, because of her example, that it is almost impossible to hate anyone whose story you know. So in the words of Sydney Ann Riggs, you get out there and you tell the story. Thank you.